Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw. I'm with Becky Powell, who's president of Protravel International. We're going to talk a little bit about the agency, which is one of the biggest in the United States, and what its future is. And this is Insider Travel Report. Now, Becky, you're fairly new at Protravel. You came in May, right?
Yes, beginning of May. I originally started in January as the Chief Operating Officer, and then in May became President of Protravel.
Well, congratulations, and you have got a very large agency to oversee. And
Yes.
Indeed, we're here actually at Virtuoso, and you're probably the largest Virtuoso agency, and you just won another production award, right?
Absolutely, our 14th year ever since they've been giving the award. Protravel has won it for the top producing agency worldwide. So,
well, congratulations again. I don't know what happens when you lose that award. That's don't even think about that, right?
No, not at all. I was scared to death. My first year as president, I didn't want to lose the award. So, but I'm confident with the plans we have going forward. We'll make sure that we keep that in our hallways, Hall of Fame. So
that'll be great. We'll look forward to that. Now, tell me a little bit about Protravel. Obviously, you're fairly new, but you probably have researched the history. Talk about the history of Protravel and how it's grown to be what it is today.
Yes. Well, Priscilla Alexander, as you know, started the company back in 1984. So she started it in New York. Over the years, grew it by acquiring other agencies throughout the country. They opened an office in London, so that became their international office. And she sold the company a few years ago, and they've been a Virtuoso member since 1998, I believe. But it's actually grown into one of the strongest luxury brands in the United States and London. So
well, every year I see you winning that award now, and now of course you're owned by Travel Leaders Group and part of the Travel Leaders. Is it Luxury Brands? You've changed the name a few times.
Well, we did. We still consider ourselves as one of the luxury brands owned by Travel Leaders Group, and we work together where it makes sense, and we keep our independence where it makes sense. And protecting the Protravel brand is very important to us and our agents and their clients. So we really are focused on that. And with the luxury brands, we had a former president who oversaw multiple brands, and now I am just seeing Protravel at all. That's the only brand that I work on, and it's my focus.
Yeah, well, it's big enough to be one focus, that's for sure. Now talk a little about how many agents. I think last I heard you were $1 billion agency. I'm not 900, something close to that. How many agents, both in-house and outside independent contractors, roughly do you have now?
Well, our agent community is about 800 agents, so that includes some of our in-house and our ICs. But with our staff, we're at about 1,000 employees altogether between employees and ICs and house agents. So
yeah, and where you're based, you're headquartered in New York, but you also have bases elsewhere, right?
Oh yeah, we have a huge presence in Southern California, on the West Coast between Arizona and California. There we have about 280 agents and 6 branches, so we've got a huge presence there.
Now, what's the sort of the business mix? What are your kind of specialties? You do corporate and leisure business and luxury business, obviously.
Right. Very luxury focused. We deliver some of the highest ADRs to our partners, whether it be a hotel, cruise line, tour operator partner. But we really, right now, are about 50% leisure, 50% corporate. Our corporate business has actually grown, and where it's grown is in the C-suite, C-level travel. So we've seen some nice growth there, have some great tools for corporate ICs, and so we're very happy about that.
Now, now you're overseeing Protravel now. Where do you see it going in the next few years? I mean, it already is one of the largest agencies in the United States, one of the most successful sellers of luxury travel, as every year winning an award at Virtuoso attests to. Right. Where do you see Protravel going in the future?
Well, looking at markets where we don't have a presence today, if you look on the West Coast, we're very strong in Southern California, but Northern California or up in the Pacific Northwest, we have no presence there. There's some other markets, Atlanta, Texas. We really are looking at where we don't have a presence and where it makes sense for us to be, either based on the corporate clients or the demand for luxury, leisure. Those are things that we'll be looking at.
No, and that's great, and I know that, you know, for Travel Leaders Group, they have big plans. Now, I guess one of the questions everybody asks me is, says, you're part of Virtuoso, and yet you're also part of Travel Leaders, which is your corporate parent, and everybody says, what will happen when Protravel leaves Virtuoso, if it ever does? I mean, obviously you see an advantage to being part of Virtuoso still.
Absolutely. I like to say we're owned by Travel Leaders, but we're a member of Virtuoso. And we do use some Travel Leaders assets where it makes sense. If it's something that Virtuoso can't provide us, yet they have it, we will utilize that. But we will stay a member of Virtuoso as long as our agents find value in that.
Yeah, and I think they still do, since
Yeah,
you have a number of, I don't know how many agents you have at this conference, but it's probably a big number, right?
We have 150.
That's a big number, yeah. That's, and considering, well, I mean, if Virtuoso keeps growing, we're up to what, 6,000 with about 2,800 agents. So, but you still have a good percentage of that.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a, you know, it's a great event. And our agents love it, so we support it. We have a lot of first timers here, new entrants into the business. So we're happy with our presence here.
Yeah, I don't know if you have some that are up for other individual agent awards too, right?
We do. We have the Rising Star Award that we're up for, as well as we were top producer. So we have, and the Cruise Ambassador. We're up for Cruise Ambassador.
Well, you are always mentioned very heavily in the award categories up here. And then, you know, of course, with the Travel Leaders Group, it seems like you have a lot of agencies. There's some that belong to Signature. Obviously, you have a large American Express firm that's part of it. So you sort of have you're in all camps in a way.
Exactly. And again, think of Travel Leaders as kind of this company that's buying these different brands, but leaving them as operating on their own. You know, what works for that brand is different than what might work for another brand. So I think they've been very successful at that, and we're committed to Virtuoso, and we'll, as I said, be here as long as it provides value.
Now, obviously, you actually were formerly with Virtuoso, and you had got to interact with the Protravel folks. What was the biggest surprise when you first came on board as the president that you found?
Oh, wow. Well, I think understanding the independent contractors and how you work with them, you know, coming from, I worked at Andrew Harper Travel before Pro, where we were all employees, and having that relationship with independent contractors is very different. And they're such a valuable asset to your business, and they're entrepreneurs just like you are. And so making sure that you find that balance with them and help them grow their business it was something that was really enlightening to me.
Well, you have to make an environment where they can make money and do well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Making sure they have the tools, the training, you know, the right partners, everything. So they're looking for us to give them those types of tools, and Protravel does a very good job at doing that.
Now, do you still have a dedicated division that's responsible for ICs, or is that sort of all merged in now?
Well, we really have it kind of merged into our branch operations. So we have people who work very closely with the ICs. We've just hired a lot of support people. We're creating a department that looks at the IC business process and how we can help them improve that. We're also developing some tools for them to measure their business successfully, where they could have maybe booked through a different supplier or different airline and gotten a higher commission. So we're looking at some of those tools right now and excited to roll those out probably in 2019.
Okay, and my last question really is, you know, how is business looking this year and heading into 2019?
It's fabulous. Fabulous. It's unbelievable. We are definitely up year over year without a lot of growth in our IC area. So we've kept our ICs happy, and the business is growing. A lot of them, as I said, are entrepreneurs, so they're bringing in more staff to support them, so they're growing their business, and it's wonderful. Every category is up year over year. Africa's sold out. You can't get space for Africa, and next year's even hard to find space right now. So, you know, finding those new destinations that we can market that are emerging is going to be important, I think, to make sure that we deliver on the experiences that clients are looking for.
And well, Becky, I want to say, first of all, congratulations on being named president in May. It's a great role for you. I think I'm looking forward to seeing what you do with it. It's going to be, and because it is, you have a great legacy here. And I've known you a long time, and you're very deserving of this post.
Thank you so much, James. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.